Speedway Sedans Live, proudly produced by Ash Media Speedway Footage. Brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia, Adam Holt Industries, Campton Graphics and Signage, Cool Drive Distribution, Jules Furniture and Removalists, EB Graphics, Highline Raceway and Team Apparel, Mental Racewear, Pro One Race Parts, Speedway Sedans Queensland and Speedway Sedans Western Australia. Heat number 1 of the national title, 12 laps the journey. Out of turn 4 they come. Green lights are on, the national title's underway. And Lee Williams will lead them into turn number 1. Darren Anning right there and sneaking up the inside. Anthony Randall back to Mick Nicola, and here comes the challengers from the back. The first of those is the 17 car of Lachlan Onley into 4th. Dave Gartner's already around 1. Trouble further back in the field. They're 3 wide, but our leader at the moment is Lee Williams. Second place is Anning. A bit of smoke coming out of the car. Back then to Anthony Randall. Lachlan Onley's made his way to 4th. Then it's Nicola, then Gartner, and Ash Bergmere rounds out the field. 2 down and 10 to go.
Yeah, impressed by Williams out in front at the moment. He's fielded him. Oh no, trouble for Manning in the 21 car. Anning, I should say, the 21 car. He's gone up in smoke as well. Will he get back to the pits? I'm not sure he will. Yellow light comes on the speedway. So could we have 2 cars out of the Australian title with massive engine dramas? Wow.
Pretty confident the rule does say you can only run with the front flat left, and he'll I'm sure be left on the infield for the remainder of these 10 laps.
Yellow lights out,
yep.
So that certifies and guarantees that is the case. Ten remaining in this opening heat. So Williams from Randall, Onley, Gartner and Bergmeier. Let's see what they can do. Track is certainly smoothed out. I'm impressed by Randall here in this 5 car, searching over the back of Williams, just trying to wait for that little gap to open. Challenge for 3rd position. Gartner slips in underneath Onley now. Gartner on the move. Onley's going to come back at him on the outside. New race leader, Randall.
Well, there's nothing separating the 5 of them really, Stu. There's now Randall's out in front, Gartner into 2nd place, Lachlan Onley 3rd. Here comes Bergmere, and all of a sudden you'll find the 4 car, Lee Williams, didn't really do all that much wrong, but he's gone from 1st to last as now they move out of pits bend. Gartner from the back of the field now looks under the 5 car of Anthony Randall and takes the lead down in the highway turn. 6 down, 6 to go. Onley 3rd, Bergmere 4th, and back then in 5th place the 4 of Lee Williams. Dropped off a wee bit, but Dave Gartner's starting to open up a bit of a gap on the rest of the field.
Yeah, Lachlan Onley won't like to see that. He'll want to try and get back onto the Gartner and try and follow him around and work out what his car's doing, trying to make things work for himself. Randall still sits there in 2nd spot. Bergmeier, he's moved up to 4th, and Williams, who was your race leader for the first sort of 6 laps, he's back there in 5th position. 5 cars only in this heat, with a couple that have fallen out of it. Track just slicking off just ever so nicely. Little bit of a cushion starting to form. The track is widening up beautifully at the moment. Race leader on the bottom side out of turn number 4. 3 to go for Gartner.
And Dave Gartner set a time of 15.722, which is 5 seconds quicker than they were doing in hot laps. As they head down the back straight, Dave Gartner out in front. Back then to Anthony Randall. A few car lengths back to Onley, Bergmere, and then back to Lee Williams. The battle really is probably 3rd and 4th now with 2 laps to go. As Dave Gartner out in front from Randall, then back to Lachlan Onley, Bergmere, and then the 4 car of Lee Williams. But Dave Gartner is nearly home and hose. There's 1 to go, and he should win the opening heat of the national title as he moves down the main straight.
Works the bottom side through turns 1 and 2. The other 3 cars behind him, they're working the higher groove. Down through turns 3 and 4. He's the Victorian state title holder, the South Australian state title holder, and he takes out heat number 1 of the Australian Championship here at Valvoline Raceway. Home in second spot goes to Anthony Randall. Third goes to Onley. Burmeiger home in fourth. Williams rounds out your 5-car field. Anning and Nicola did not finish heat number 1. That was heat number 1 of the Australian Super Sedan title.
All about set to go here with heat number 2. Andrew White and Paul Cronitis will lead them out of turn number 4. About to go green, they come to the line. A good start on the inside for Andrew White, who leads them through from Cronitis, sneaking up on the inside already. Ryan Alexander, but he got a bit out of shape, and the lead 2 cars have split the scene. Andrew White out in front from Cronitis, New South Wales 1-2, back in third place. Oh, trouble further back. Shane Lau got out of shape, and going straight into the back end of him is the 24 car of Jack Childs. That's up there in Pitts Bend. And we have ourselves a stoppage. Brian, that will be probably right in front of you.
Yeah, I just went for a bit of a wander through the pits. For a good afternoon to you, gentlemen, and to everyone tuning in on this glorious Friday evening. So I'm actually the entry to turn number 3 at the moment. So yeah, the 2 unfortunately just getting caught up and locked horns over there in turn number 4. But I tell you what, the amount of people that are up against this.
All about set for a 12-lap restart. Heat number 2 of the National Super Sedan title back underway. And this time Paul Cronitis gets the best of the start on the outside of Andrew White. Back in third place, Ryan Alexander from South Australia starts to make his presence felt on the outside. Grant Shaw is in fourth. Sean Black has moved to fifth, then Corey Smith and Matt Williams. That's the first 7, but Cronitis just in front on the inside. Andrew White. White's back in front. Now Cronitis fights back on the outside, and looking for a way through is the 47 car of Ryan Alexander. Grant Shaw in fourth as they move into the main straight. 2 down and 10 to go. Our race leader is Andrew White, just from Paul Cronitis, and moving to the outside now is the 47 of Ryan Alexander.
Impressive stuff, wasn't it, as he heads down the back straight into 3 and 4. This battle for second is rife right now as they head around the top side of the racetrack into turns 3 and 4. Out in front though, your leader's starting to pull away, and of course with 12 laps on the board for these heat races, it really is time to get forward. But a good run at the moment for Alexander, still the only man at the moment that is really searching up towards the top side of the racetrack.
Yes, Billy's caught Andrew White, only a couple of car lengths in it. A few car lengths back then to Cronitis. Sean Black's made his way to fourth. Corey Smith from Tasmania snuck up the inside of Grant Shaw, moves into fifth, and Matthew Williams trying the same move. So move back into the main straight. Out in front, Andrew White just from Ryan Alexander. The margin 0.2 of a second. A gap back then Cronitis in third, Black fourth, and Corey Smith. And now Matt Williams has found his way into sixth. But out in front still Andrew White, only just trying to sneak up the inside was Alexander. That move didn't pay off.
He is right there with him now as he battles back into turns 1 and 2 here, half down. We've still got 6 more laps to go, and here comes Alexander now into turns 3 and 4. Completely different to where he was a couple laps ago, of course, trying to get the move done now on the bottom side of the racetrack. The top 2 are pulled clear because behind that, Cronitis, Black, Smith, and you can just about throw in a lot of them right now as they head back into turns 1 and 2. Alexander still, though, searching for the lead. White is having none of it right now as your race leader.
Yeah, Andrew White leads down the main straight. The time clock showing 4 laps to go, and he's putting in a great show. Ryan Alexander second, a great drive, but one's gone down here in turn number 1. That's Matthew Williams. The yellow lights have come on. He went off at a rate of knots, and that was in that battle for third, fourth and fifth. Corey Smith had done a great job to that point, from the back of the field up into third place. So we're back underway with Andrew White, who's got a quick lap of 16.104, which is not as quick as the car in second place of Ryan Alexander, has done a 15.9, and he better get the skates on because the 16 car from Tasmania, Corey Smith, gives him the hurry up and moves into second place. And Corey Smith has come from the back of the field in this one with 3 to go. It's White, Smith, Alexander, and Alexander has lost another spot to Sean Black as they head down the back straight. Corey Smith now looking underneath of Andrew White with 2 laps to go.
The Tasmanian Surges will take the lead coming out of turn number 4 as they head back down the front straight. So a nice move there from Corey Smith. Searches his way to the lead. The battle's still going on here as well at the moment between Black and Alexander. Alexander, of course, the big loser from that restart. Searches towards the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Will pit pocket that spot and goes position number 3. One more lap to go though for your race leader of Corey Smith.
Yes, Corey Smith from the back of the field opens up a gap on Andrew White. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together from Tasmania from the back to the front. Corey Smith wins heat number 2. Second home, Andrew White. Ryan Alexander third. Sean Black. Then back in 5th place, Paul Cronitis, Grant Shaw, Matt Williams and Jack Childs. No time for the race due to the stoppage. The winning margin, 0.943, and the quick lap was by Ryan Alexander, a 15.721, but that was only good for third. Once again, as he comes into the main straight, put your hands together for Corey Smith, the Tasmanian, from position 9 to P1 at the end of heat number 2.
Up the rear. 12 on the board, heat number 3. Harper's got to be tough off this front row, especially on pole. He's already into the race lead. Kyle Fisher sits there in second spot. The 24, David McKenzie, in third. Defending and current Australian champion, Darren Kane, hasn't moved forward or gone backwards yet. There he is on screen, just in behind the 17 of Brad Wicks. Keeping it on the bottom side of the racetrack, and that's surprising that he hasn't ventured up a little bit higher. Maybe they set the car up just to stay on the bottom.
Yeah, may well have, but at the moment a long way behind, and the former national champion out in front is Callum Harper, and he's scooted right away, has a very big lead after just 3 laps. 2.5 seconds back to Kyle Fisher in second place. David McKenzie from Victoria running third, the West Australian Phil Barton fourth, and the Tasmanian in 5th place. Basically every state represented here, but Callum Harper, well, he scooted right away. We've got trouble further back. Darren Kane, Steve Latham and Brad Wicks all involved, and turn 4, not the place to be tonight. All the incidents have happened down there.
Steve Latham went all by himself.
Yep.
And
5th place is a Queenslander in Dale Christensen. Victorian in 6th of Brad Wicks. As they come back into the main straight and back under green, and immediately Callum Harper has a 5, 6, 7 car length lead on Fisher. Back in third place is McKenzie, then Barton, Christensen, Wicks, and then at the tail of the 7 cars still running is Wayne Dick. But I don't think they're going to catch the 22 car in a month of Sundays. 8 to go, and Callum Harper's lead's already over a second after 1 racing lap. Fisher got a bit out of shape there. Almost saw McKenzie going through the inside door, but didn't happen. McKenzie back in third, and now moving to the outside is the 36 of Phil Barton.
yeah, Callum Harper, he is gone. He's got this well under control, and I think obviously Gardner was impressive in the opening heat where he come from the back and won, but certainly Harper coming off the front, and his car just looks so nice on the racetrack right now. It's just doing what he needs to do. It's reacting when he wants it to react, and when everybody else is, obviously they're racing against each other back in the field, but he's out in front and he's just clear. So that race on screen was between the second, third and fourth place car, but there is your race leader.
Yep, he's a mile in front, the length of the main straight in front of everybody else. Second place is Fisher, as you can see there. Barton has made his way to third, McKenzie fourth, then Christensen, Wicks, and back in last at the moment is Wayne Dick with Latham, and also the national champion taking no further part. But the further this goes, the further it gets in front. It was 3.6 seconds. The margin's now 4.3 as now Barton from Western Australia moves to second and immediately clears away from Fisher, who ran wide. That's allowed McKenzie through, but they're in another postcode racing for second place at 3 laps to go. It's all the 22 of Callum Harper.
Yeah, he's pulled out to nearly a 4.5 second lead now, just doing a nice job. There he is back on screen, down into turn 3 and 4. It's a lot slicker in turn 3 than where it is anywhere else on the racetrack right now. 2 remaining for Harper. Just running right through the middle of turns 1 and 2. It's not as wide coming out of turn 2 by the look of it. Slick as a dog's biscuit through turns 3. Still fairly hooked up out of turn 4. The white lights are flashing for heat number 3 of the Australian Super Sedan Championship here at Valvoline Raceway. Barton still in second, McKenzie's third. The races On for fourth between Christensen and Fisher. Checkered flag, though. Comes out for Callum Harper. Absolutely smashes the field. Cross the line in second now goes to Barton. A 6.5 second difference. Mackenzie home in third. Fisher fourth. Then we go back to Christensen in fifth. Wicks, Dick, Latham and Kane did not finish heat number 3. That was heat number 3 of the Australian Super Sedan Championship. Up the pace. The Towers cars on the front row. Barry gets the jump in the 33 car. Oh, back in the pack, the 23 of Mick Nicola Jr. He got shuffled right back. So the Towers cars are up front, but the big mover and making things happen at the moment is Pascoe. He's up to fourth. Steve Jordan in the 10. He's now up to second. Race leader Barry Towers. He's probably the most experienced around this place out of all the drivers. Challenge for the race lead out of 4. Give it to Towers into 1, but Jordan has a look through turns 2. Gets the job done down the back straight. New race leader, Steve Jordan.
So Steve Jordan leads as they come up with 9 to go. The 15 car of Matt Pascoe behind Towers. Then there's a gap to the second of the Towers cars. The veteran Wayne Randall in the 6 trying to find a way through along with Dale Christensen. Back then to Nicola Jr. and McCosker. As they move out of Pitts Bend, the 15 of Matty Pascoe has got past Towers. Moves into second. Now we'll see what he's got for Steve Jordan in car number 10. So Pascoe, who's won this event twice, has given Jordan a 1 second advantage going past the strike with 8 to go. They'll come up with 7 to go as they move into the main straight. It's Jordan back in second place. It's Pascoe. Third is Towers. Randall has made his way to fourth. The margin is now reduced to .783 as they head down the back straight and into Pitts Bend. And it's now only 4 or 5 car lengths. We're going to have a ripper finish here.
So just watching Jordan, he's doing a nice job, your race leader, just making the car work where he wants it to. So Pascoe's searching. He's been to the top. He's been to the bottom. He got a cracker of a run out of turn 2. That time did Pascoe. He's got the car working on the top side. Jordan keeps it on the bottom. Watch the car through turns 1 and 2 right now. Sets it up. Pulls alongside Jordan. Can Jordan get the horsepower out of 2? No. Pascoe gets the job done. Does he dive to the bottom into 3? No. Stays up top. Can Jordan come back at him through turns 3 and 4? Good night. Pascoe's gone with 5 to go.
Yep. It is good night. Here's a good battle for third place. Randall moves into third. Towers fourth, back in fifth place. It's the 15 of Northfield, then Mick Nicola Jr., Bob McCosker as they move out of and then back to Mark Towers. But our race leader ran off the racetrack there with 3 to go. Matty Pascoe is out by a second. Jordan is in second place. Third place is a long way behind Randall. Good battle for fourth. Well, it was. The 33 of Barry Towers is out on the freeway. Trouble on the back straight. Gavin Northfield's gone around and Bob McCosker come in at the last minute and gave him a bit of a shunt. Shouldn't be too much damage there, I wouldn't suspect. But Gavin Northfield's around in heat number 4, just when we thought we might get one go the distance. The greens are going to come on here. They're a little bit out of shape. But it's going to be Matty Pascoe who leads Jordan, Randall, and then back to Northfield in 4th place, then Barry Towers, Nicola Jr., then McCosker, and the second of the Towers cars, Mark. But out in front with a couple of laps left to go, Matty Pascoe looks comfortable out in front from Steve Jordan and a gap back to Wayne Randall.
Yeah, Matty Pascoe, he should do this convincingly, you would have thought. Jordan's not letting him get away, though. They've gapped Wayne Randall. Back there in third. McCosker now gets a run under Towers to try and pick up 5th position. The white lights are flashing for Matty Pascoe, the Queensland number 1. Jordan still there in second spot. Randall third. The 4th position of Northfield. Checkered flag going to come out though for Matty Pascoe. Takes out his opening heat. Home in second spot goes to Jordan. Wayne Randall home in third, Northfield 4th, McCosker in 5th, Towers finishes 6th. Then we go back to Mick Nicola Jr. and then Mark Towers. 8 cars in heat number 4. That was round number 1 of the Australian Super Sedan Championship heat races. We have another 2 rounds of heats to come up for those guys, and also production sedans coming up for their Harbour City Hustle. Heat 4, 5 and 6 of production sedans coming up next.
Nice to have you with us here at Valvoline Raceway on this glorious Friday night. And speaking of glorious, was a seat win for Callum Harper. Nice job, mate. How was it out there?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good so far. Looks like it's going to form a nice little cushion. Looks like there's a bit in the bottom, so that's all you can ask for in a racetrack. So I'm going to race. So got the first heat out of the way. That was off the front, so you try and win them ones as best you can. But yeah, the rest of them are down the back, so we'll just see how we go.